Alright, so let's talk about Social Security. That one program that we all pay into that very few of us actually understand exactly how it works. In 2019, the average Social Security paycheck was $1,470. But did you also know that if we were to get rid of that program altogether, that 48% of Americans, or roughly 1 out of every 2 ages 65 and over, would be living below the poverty line? If you've been keeping up with the CARES Act, you might remember that President Donald Trump said this: "We're not doing anything without a payroll tax cut." This means that more than likely we'll see some changes to Phase 4 of the CARES Act, which makes sense because if corporations pay less money in taxes, that means they get to keep more money, which means they'll be incentivized to hopefully pay us to come back to work in theory. As of the calculations of today, Social Security is about to run out of money exactly 15 years from today. But there's a few new changes that are about to speed those 15 years way up. Now, regardless of what you think about the current economic situation or the president or the media, I think they're all brilliant. Now, before you dislike this video, let me explain exactly what I mean, because they are the masters of manipulating our attention and putting it somewhere else. And as somebody who's well-versed in the dark arts of magic and deception, I want to show you exactly how to see right through it, because I've been seeing a lot of it in the personal finance and government space. And I want to do that showing you nothing more than this simple red deck of cards. So let me remove exactly 5 cards, and you don't have to memorize all of these cards, but try to remember all the details that you can. So here are the cards, and try to remember everything you can. Obviously this is on video, so you can pause at any moment, but the first question I have for you is, how many cards was in this stack? If you said 5, then you're absolutely right. But the next question is going to get a little bit trickier. So the next question is, first let me remind you exactly what I'm holding. Same cards. The next question is, how many picture cards or court cards like the Jack, Queen, and King are in this stack? If you said 2, then you're absolutely right. Good job. And let me remind you once again exactly what is in here, just to refresh your memory. The third question I have for you is, how many black cards are in this stack? If you said 3, then you're absolutely right. But here's where it's gonna get a little bit trickier. There we go. Can you see how this card is different? All right, so we're gonna mix it up, and I'll show you exactly what is here. Now, if you've been paying attention, you should be able to tell me exactly which card I just added. If you said the Ace of Spades, then you're absolutely right, Yugi. Good job, you are the king of games. But one last question. How many red back cards did you see? If you said 5, then you're 100% wrong, because actually we have 5 blue cards and only 1 red card. And I asked you questions that were specifically meant to divert attention away from that and hide the truth. Pay a special close attention to politics, economics, and the government, because they're always detracting our attention from the truth. So let's pull back the curtain and reveal the real Wizard of Oz behind Social Security, how it works, and exactly what is going on. Let's begin. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. And first, I want to thank my friend Spidey for showing me that psychological miracle. Smash that like button, and I will show you exactly how that works at the end of this video so you can impress all of your friends. But I've talked long enough. Let's finally talk about the most significant yet least discussed topic in all of finance: Social Security. Social Security was a program that was signed into law in 1935 by Franklin Roosevelt. Think of it like the final form of passive income. We invented this program out of a need after the Great Depression of 1929, when millions of people were left with no income, no savings, and no job, not unlike what we're seeing today. So the program was created to help retirees and people with disabilities to supplement some of their income, but it was never meant to be a permanent solution replacing all of people's incomes. Now today, you and I pay into this program regardless of whether or not we choose to participate in it. But if you have a job and you actually are employed, then you will pay 6.2% of your yearly income towards this program, and your employer will match the other 6.2% for a grand total of 12.4% for the entire year. Now for some someone like me who's a self-employed bum, I will pay 12.4% all by myself because there's no one to match my contribution. So in this case, it literally pays to have a job. But that 12.4% is capped at a maximum of $137,700 for the entire year of 2020. And the way that it's funded is that all the money that we pay into the Social Security program gets tossed into this one giant pile of money, kind of like in a high-stakes poker game where everybody throws their chips in, and then that money gets redistributed back to us at retirement age, proportionate to the average of the 35 highest grossing years that we were working and paying into Social Security. To be clear though, we don't really have an individual account with the Social Security Administration that tracks each of our contributions that we then withdraw money from. Instead, the way this works is that your retirement gets paid for by the younger generation, just as you once did and likely are doing for retirees today. And for every dollar that you contribute to this program, 85 cents of it goes towards retirees and the other 15 cents goes towards people with disabilities. But here's where the fear comes in, because President Donald Trump and his administration have asked to get rid of payroll taxes permanently, which means in theory they could implement a new rule that says that companies no longer have to pay that 6.2% for employing us. And because of the illness, people are not working, therefore they're already contributing less to the Social Security program. In 2019, the program paid $1,047 billion out as benefits, but it only received $944.5 billion. So the program is paying out more money than it's collecting. When combined with what's happened to the economy and less people contributing into the system and more people taking out of the system because they have no jobs, so they're forced to retire early, all means nicht gut. Now, even though these tax cuts would definitely help save money for the big corporations, you and I would still have to pay for it in the future, because by getting rid of these taxes, we would get rid of 89% of where the Social Security program is getting its money from. Therefore, the 2035 date where Social Security runs out of money could come here a lot sooner. So here's what it all means. In order to cover the shortfall, one of three things would have to happen. Either number one, we would have to cut back on the Social Security benefits, which nobody wants to do. And number two, we would have to increase taxes for everybody, which nobody wants to do. Or number three, we would just raise the retirement age because people are living longer. And that's honestly what's going to end up happening, because that's what seems to make the most sense. So if you want to retire earlier, but you still want to be paid Social Security, chances are you'll have to wait a little longer in the future. But here's the most important part to remember about politics and diversion. Even if Social Security was to run out of money tomorrow, they would still be able to cover 79% of the money that you and I are owed in retirement all the way until the year 2090. So the next time you read a scary headline that the media is trying to scare you with for their own political gain about how the Social Security system has run out of money, technically that isn't true. We will still be paid just a little bit less, assuming there are no further changes, everything will be just fine, with a giant asterisk. If you go to ssa.gov, you can find out exactly how much you're gonna earn. By going to the website, they'll ask for your information, verification, but it's a pretty straightforward process where you can check exactly what your estimated monthly Social Security income will be when you retire. And requirement number one, you need 40 working credits, which you can get each credit for $1,410 that you make per year. And for a maximum of 4 credits, that means you would have to earn at least $16,920 to collect all 4 credits for the year, and you need 10 minimum working years to get your 40 credits. And as a 58-year-old man here on the internet, I've already satisfied the 40 credit requirement. But number two, I can't just go on retirement and start collecting that money even though I've met the requirement, because you also need to be of FRA, the full retirement age, which right now the earliest is 62 years old. If you choose to start withdrawing at the ripe young age of 62 years old, you'll be paid 70% of the income that you're owed, and that rate will be locked in for life, and it will no longer go up because you chose to withdraw at an earlier age. But if you can wait until, let's say, 65, then you'll be owed 86.7%. And every year that you wait to withdraw thereafter, your rate will increase by 8% until it reaches 100% at FRA, the full retirement age, which for most people watching this video is 67 years old. But if you can wait until 70 to start withdrawing, then it'll be 132%. Now, personally, assuming that I make it to age 62 years old, I will start withdrawing then, because for me, money today is worth a lot more than more money tomorrow maybe. A way I like to think of Social Security is it's like the best forced savings plan besides real estate, where if you own your house, you're forced to build that equity and save your money, because most Americans are not good at that. So I hear you if you're like, I want to keep more of my Social Security taxes so I can invest that money into dividend stocks and real estate because I save 50% of my income because I watch your videos. But most people don't do that. Most people will just treat this as discretionary income and they will spend that money. And when they're ready to retire, they're gonna have nothing to show for it. And it's scary to build a future where our retirees are sick, broke, and have no income. That is not something that we should be building. When the Yorona started, I remember reading news directly from the government that told us wearing a mask was not gonna prevent us from getting sick. The only thing that it would do is to help others from getting sick from us if we were sick already. And I thought, that's weird. Wearing a mask doesn't help me? So, okay, I thought against my better judgment. And I remember being upset when my mom bought a dozen N95 masks for like $100 a piece. Mom, why'd you waste so much money? So we traveled to Russia, we traveled internationally, and we left those masks because we didn't think it would actually help. Well, guess what? Just recently, we had Dr. Fauci admit live on air that the government knowingly lied to people about the face masks. Now, I understand that the healthcare workers need their PPE, their personal protective equipment, but maybe let's not lie to people in situations where it's a matter of life and death. There were articles on the internet citing why it's not even important to have a mask, even though all the healthcare workers wore them. So maybe let's not use pseudoscience to lie to people and instead practice telling the truth. So I'm gonna continue to stay alert because it seems like the areas that are most prone to deception have always been money, government, and health. There are two kinds of deceivers in this world. There are those who use deception to conceal the truth about this world. And there are those who use deception to reveal a truth about this world. And believe it or not, it is easier to lie to somebody than it is to convince them that they've been lied to. Which is why magic allows me to use a lie, deception, to reveal the truth that's hiding behind the bigger lie. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that I'm #deep, but also that you can never rely on the government for help. And it's sad to see that so many people do. But regardless of who gets elected in office, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, the only person who will ever have your financial interests at heart is you. Which is why this video is sponsored by The Truth. I'm kidding, it's not sponsored by anybody, but if you'd like to take money into your own hands and start investing, you can get 3 free stocks, 2 of which from Webull. By signing up for free, you'll get 1 free stock up to $250 in value. You'll get a second free stock if you fund your account $100, and that free stock can be valued up to $1,400. And your third free stock by signing up to Robinhood, and you can get started with investing like that. You can follow me on Instagram. I post from time to time. I will see you back here on Monday and Friday. Love you. Thank you so much. I will leave all the links below this video. Bye-bye. And for the 5 of you left watching, you are a real subscriber. As promised, let me show you how this works, because you can do it for anybody. It's amazing. The first act of deception happens when I say this is a trick with red cards. So I take 5 cards, but 4 of them are blue and only 1 of them is red. And I ask you a series of simple questions that I repeat. And right before I do, I make sure to show you the front while I mix them. And then I hang on to the 1 red card always towards the back, so that when I ask you the question, I make sure to face the 1 red card towards you. And I repeat it several times so your brain creates an assumption that all the rest of these are red. And the kicker comes when I introduce the 1 blue card and I put it in the center and I say, can you tell how this 1 card is different? So your brain says, yes. But I didn't say it was different because it's blue. I said it's different because it's new. And that's when I reveal that obviously the rest of them are all blue and it's only 1 red card. And that is a simple card trick, you say. But no, it's a lesson on marketing, deception, and inception.